Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this example, and they're wraps for a dog bowl. And I asked her a question. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but I thought I'd go ahead and give it a shot. I made a yellow box because I have a white line. So they want a template. And on one of these was a white line. And they wanted to make it where they could very easily put the names in the template. So if you had this ready, and this is, I made a rectangle that fits inside that ring because they want to be able to put names in there more quickly. And you could do the same thing with this name. Just shift select that circle, go EC, and puts it in the center. Now, let's color this in first. Let's do this kind of like this color. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a darker color. There we go. I'm going to take well, I can just take this and just make it that dark color. And you can see that my white line shows up. Also, I have a black line because then you could take the Smart Fill tool and make it a different color. Let's make it yellow just to go along with the theme. You'd want to do this before you put the name in there. And we're going to put a yellow on the outside and the inside. And on this case, you might not want that white line. But this is still, and then you could add your graphics. And let's say if you're going to do this one, you're going to use the dog name Skip. You could actually make it that green from the other part. And that doesn't look as dark, does it? I guess it is. And then have this box and go up to effects in envelope. And for this, I was going to do a lot of them. I'd have a hotkey and go envelope. And the question was to make them all the same fit. So now you don't have to do this, but I would safely put shift select that and go EC and then grab my skip and move it down. And of course, we'll have to go make it order front of page. But you wouldn't have to do that if you had this set up and typed your name out. And, in this case, they might want that white line, which is a object. They might want it green, in this case. And of course, now I have to skip. And you wouldn't have to, once again, you wouldn't have to do this once. I get so used to putting stuff at the back of the page. So there's that one. Of course, you'd add your graphics. But let's say, you want to do a Rocky. So you'd pick that same green. You got the envelope form picked, place it in there and see it. Rocky was almost the exact same size as already, so it didn't have to change it very much. And then shift select that and go EC, and then move Rocky down, and let me back up. Let's say you had all this done and you would grab it and go object, order, back a page. So that way, when you move this Rocky down, it'll be on top every time. And then I thought, well, let's try a cursive because like one of these was cursive. Envelope looks pretty good. EC. And the reason I'm doing that, because then it's lined up with this envelope, and then I didn't make this one green, but you could very easily make it green. I'm hoping that's what they were asking. And then for say the example they had, you don't have to make an envelope because this is a circle. And the only reason we're doing this is the size. So I'm going to select this, shift select the circle and go EC, and it put it right in the center. So if you would save this, and then of course you could have different colors saved. You could put this name in here without that box, but you might as well, when you're making a template, just have a box. You're nudge distance away. And for the one I'm doing it for, you'll find, well, maybe I better quit saying that, but I think you'll find it much better to have your duplicate distance set on 0, 0. So that way, when you make a duplicate, my numbers aren't locked. Set this on 0, 0. I still don't know why Corel does that. That way, if you make a duplicate, that one is right on top of the other one, and you can move it right back to where it was. But anyway, you can have multiple color scenes and actually have your graphics in there and just change your name. And I mean, this would be that's a pretty easy graphic. That's just hearts. That's just so blurry I can't really tell if they're just squares. But if you need help with that, let me know. But that should be pretty straightforward. But let's just make it stand out and make it red and shift select EC. EC is just a alignment tool. And on this circle, it'll work. But if you have a bigger name, like let's make Rocky quite a bit bigger. Well, let's do this. Let's go up here to the text editor. And let's say he's Rocky 2. So he's got now quite a bit longer name. We'll go to the envelope, place it inside form, and it fit, and then shift select the box, EC. Let's move skip out of the way and just move Rocky down. And see that way whoa, I get that a lot when I hit see that way it's in the center, but if you need to size the word, I mean, you could save all this, get rid of these unless you need them for template, but you could have different templates of different colors for dogs' names and whatever. I hope that what they were asking, and thank you for watching.